Chinese opera singer turned spy. Pretty typical, right? What if I told you he became a cross-dresser for 20 years to seduce a one and only Bernard Boursiquot? Let's get into that. Before we dive in, I just want to explain a few details. Shi Peipu is a male from China, and Bernard Boursiquot is a male from France. There's no female, so when I do say she, I am speaking of a male named Shi. Thank you. On to the video. Shi Peipu, born December 1938 in Shandong, China, had somewhat of a stable home life. Born to a college professor, father, and mother who was a teacher, he was well educated at a young age, learning French and algebraic math at an advanced level, leading him to study at Yunnan University. She had two sisters that were significantly older than him. By the age of 17, she had already found stardom as a singer and actor at the Beijing Opera. The Frenchman, then only 20, had failed to stand out in school, yet had developed a pronounced and a secure job as an accountant for the French embassy. The language barrier would be no such thing as a task to Shi Peipu. She met Bernard at a dinner. She proceeded to astound Bernard with his family's lineage and success as well as his own. She then discussed his father being a college professor and his sister's successes as champion ping pong player and the other being married to a famous artist. She also claimed to have a degree in literature from Kunming University. She, being a famous actor, proceeded to tell Bernard about his famous role in The Story of the Butterfly, written in 1904. The Story of the Butterfly displays a beautiful girl who was unable to attend an imperial school due to her gender. To combat this sexism, she swaps clothes with her brother and goes to school in his place. This story has led to Shi extending the truth, saying he was born a girl and that his mother passed him off as a boy as she wanted a son rather than three girls. Now, the Frenchman Boursiquot was essentially a 1900s-style, non-consensual celibate. He previously had fumbled multiple relationships with male school friends, which led him to document in his diary that he was determined to have a sexual relationship with a woman. The first encounter with Shi was not exactly concrete. The male opera singer was wearing a leather jacket over a mouse suit, and to reinforce his claim of being born a female, he stated that he had been taking hormones to explain his female anomalies and fortify his female credentials. A then 27-year-old Shi, in December of 1965, claimed to be pregnant, only weeks before the French diplomat was expected to leave China. Boursiquot later returned to Beijing as a scribe for the French embassy. Shi, who had told Bernard that, quote-unquote, their son was born in August of 1966, had been sent away to the border of Russia for precautionary measures. Bernard, who was greeted with a photo of the boy labeled Shi Dudu. Boursiquot managed to find himself posted at Ulaanbaatar, the capital of Mongolia, in 1977. This was France's most distinguished hellhole at the time, yet there was an opening for an archivist that Boursiquot jumped at, due to being only 36 hours away by train to Beijing, where Shi and their alleged quote-unquote son, Shi Dudu, was located. Every 6 weeks, Boursiquot would visit Beijing, where Shi and Shi Dudu were, spilling French government information little by little. Eventually, Boursiquot developed his identity to match with bisexualism, no longer having any romantic interest with Shi Sr., yet wished to kindle the relationship he had with his then-thought son, Shi Jr. In October of 1982, Shi Sr. and Jr. arrived in France on a 3-month visa. After Shi Sr. found his stardom once again in France, based off of the traditional Beijing acting and opera, they were granted a 1-year extension of said visa. Shortly after, the French government affairs surveillance discovered that Shi and Bernard were living together and questioned both men in the summer of 1983. Shi Peipu claimed, quote-unquote, I was unaware of that my friend Bernard Boursiquot had given documents to the Chinese authorities, and most particularly to an individual named Kang, whom he would meet at my home in Beijing outside of my presence, and without me knowing about it. Shi's unbelievable claim as to be a biological woman had led a French judge to order a medical examination of Shi Sr. Boursiquot was sent to a men's prison. In that prison, Bernard was listening to the radio in his cell when he heard the newsreader report, quote-unquote, the Chinese Mata Hari, who was accused of spying is a man. Bernard's response was to attempt to slit his own throat with a razor blade. A trial took place in May of 1986 in Paris, France. She and Boursiquot were sentenced to 6 years in prison for espionage. She was pardoned by President of France, François Mitterrand, April 10, 1987, as part of an effort to diffuse tensions between France and China over what was described as a very silly and unimportant case. The unraveling after the case and Xi's pardon, he claimed that he never told Boursiquot that he was in fact a female, only that he could be a female. Xi also declared that Xi Dudu, Xi Jr., was in fact not Bernard's son, but that he was born in China and sold by his mother. The hapless Boursiquot now lives in a French nursing home. When informed of Xi Peipu's death in 2009, he reflected, quote unquote, "He did so many things against me that he had no pity for. I think it is stupid to play another game now and say that I am sad. The plate is clean. Now I am free." As of May 2024, Bernard is now 79 years old and still alive. Xi Dudu is still alive in France as well, though not much is known about him. Appreciate you taking your time to join me on this 6-minute ride, however long it was. This is my first video. Let me know if you guys want more of this kind of content. Let me know if there's other topics I should cover. Yeah, I just want to appreciate to all that took the time to listen to me talk today. Thank you. Have a good one.